Hey, so earlier this week, I talked about practicing acceptance and the fact that really nobody wants to do that, not initially anyway. And I also talked about moments of clarity. Hi, I'm Fran Gallagher. I'm your guide to relationships, meditation, and intuition. And today is Friday, so I'm going to lead a meditation to help you close out your week. Of course, your week may or may not end on Friday, so you can listen to this whenever you like. But at first, I just want to talk a little bit about acceptance and clarity. So let's remember that every emotion is meant to arise, peak, and then dissipate, and leave behind energy either for peace and acceptance or for taking action. So, most of us have learned to truncate that emotional life cycle. We don't let it complete. We might repress it so we don't even know we've got an emotion. That's very common. We might suppress it. So the minute we think we have an emotion, we stuff it right on down. Or we might stop it at its peak, especially anger with certain personalities. So if you know someone or if you yourself are really quick to anger, it might be that there's a backlog of anger that you haven't allowed to complete. And so it's waiting to get triggered. Uh, so then it's old anger, and you might be actually angry about something in a way that feels disproportionate to the actual problem or issue. Uh, Everybody knows about that one, right? So anger is an especially difficult one because we're used to expressing it. Did you notice that I never said anything about expressing it? When we feel it and we allow it to arise, peak, and dissipate, we can decide when, how, if we are going to express our emotion. This makes a huge difference in our lives, in our relationships, in our functionality. So, clarity is kind of its own little thing. Clarity comes when anger has been allowed to arise, peak, and dissipate. We can actually do what I jokingly call forensic mining of our emotions. When we realize we have clarity, then we know that there has been some anger. So it's time for the meditation, and we're going to be talking about acceptance, which comes from the completion of the emotional cycle, and clarity, which comes from the completion of the emotional cycle of anger, especially. All right, get comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths and call light to yourself. This is the light of enlightenment. This light is often pictured around the heads of saints and angels. It appears sometimes as a halo. So, again, call light to yourself and see or feel, sense and know that it has indeed come to you. Breathe in the light and allow your lungs to fill with light, and your lungs will make that light available to every cell in your body in the same way that your lungs make oxygen available. Imagine you are in a bubble of light. This bubble of light is your energy field. Some people picture that. Some people even can see that as your aura. Expand your light. Take it out to fill the room you are in. Take it out beyond the room beyond the building you are in and take it out into the sky, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. Imagine the sky, either bright or dim at dawn or dusk, or dark. You're going to have choices about how much to expand your light, expanding it to the tops of the tallest trees, to the tops of the highest buildings nearby, out to the edge of the atmosphere and therefore surrounding the planet, or out into space, maybe just beyond the atmosphere of Earth, or out into our solar system, our galaxy. Perhaps you will want to expand it all the way out to the edge of the cosmos. Or again, just to the tops of the tallest trees. You will expand your light to the level that feels the most comfortable for you. Some people immediately go all the way out to the edge of the cosmos. Some people choose to be just in a bubble just outside the building they are in. And then there are all the choices in between. Whatever you choose will be right for you. Now imagine your emotional state right now. Is there any emotional energy in your body you can feel or sense? Know, imagine, guess at, or even pretend. You might even just imagine a charge. You don't have to know what kind of emotion it is, what it's about. You don't have to do any of that. Just imagine there might be a charge in your nervous system. Feel it. Does it feel big or small? Does it behave itself and stay small? Or does it want to get bigger? We can begin practicing acceptance right here. Accepting this charge if you can, and if you need to negotiate, you can accept just a portion of the charge. Imagine you are going to agree to honor and respect a portion of the charge. Breathe with it. Feel it. Right now, your field is expanded. So it will be easier to run this charge on this expanded field. Yeah, imagine you don't have to keep the emotional charge, whatever it might be, within your body or even within a smaller version of your body, because that might be happening. Imagine you can run it on your entire expanded field. You can run it on your field out beyond the room you are in, the building you are in, or, as I said earlier, all the way out to the edge of the cosmos. Allow the emotional charge to be diffused throughout your field. Imagine there's room for you. There's room for you and this emotional charge There is room for you to breathe. There is room for you to be. And imagine that perhaps allowing this charge allows it to begin to dissipate. And perhaps on this occasion, it dissipates enough to allow you to accept it even more. Maybe you can even accept a person involved with the charge, a situation, an issue, or a problem. And imagine that somehow the experience right now elevates you in some way. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling whatever you're feeling, sensing whatever you are sensing, knowing, maybe listening to a deep quiet. Good. And imagine that in this elevated position where there is room to breathe, room to be, imagine that there is some growing clarity. Some kind of clarity about what acceptance does for you, or a clarity regarding action, an action you feel comfortable taking. So, with acceptance, you might also be accepting the reality that there is no proper action to take in this situation. Allow yourself to be with these possibilities. The possibility that there is an action to take, or the possibility that it's time for acceptance. You are okay. You can come to a place of comfort with these realizations. You can come to a place of clarity and either of acceptance regarding an action you do wish to take, or acceptance regarding the reality that there is no proper action to take. And you can be at peace with either one of these, whichever is true for you. Breathing in, breathing out, noticing how you feel, noticing your experience, noticing who you are now. And as you notice your experience, notice what senses are bringing your experience to you. These are your inner senses. Recognizing them allows you to develop them further and use them for your highest good. Perhaps right now you have inner vision. You are actually seeing images on the screen within your mind. Perhaps you have inner sensing. There is a feeling about your experience. And because of the work you just did, there could be a feeling of relief or resolve. There might be inner taste, inner smell that cannot be explained by your external stimuli. There could be an inner knowing or an inner hearing. These are actually the mechanisms of your inner experience as well as the mechanisms of your imagination. Breathing in, breathing out. You can pause this right now and stay in this state for a little while longer. Or you can begin coming back. What you are doing is bringing your focus back from the world of energy, that expanded realm within the inner planes. You can bring your focus back step by step. So if you went all the way out to the edge of the cosmos, now it's time to begin coming back. Bringing your awareness back from the edge of the cosmos to our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. Bringing your awareness back to our solar system. And there's our familiar planet Earth, otherwise known as the blue-green planet, coming back to Earth, coming back to your hemisphere, back to your continent, back to your country, your state or province, back to your city or town, back to your area, your neighborhood, your home, back to the room you are in, back to your physical body. You might really feel the difference as you condense your focus enough to be in your physical body. Draw up gently, slightly on the perineum, or if that word is unfamiliar, the pelvic floor, in on the low belly gently, and that will center and ground you. Feel your arms and legs and fully inhabit your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Then take a couple of deep breaths, open your eyes, return to the room feeling relaxed, refreshed, and ready to go on with your day. Thank you for joining me. Be safe in all things that you do.